Hi guys, welcome to a new series, North Node in Cancer. I'm wearing my pajamas. Pajamas is a universal symbol of comfort, of nurturing, of cozy at home, underneath your covers or not, but it has to do with comfort, with coziness, with warmth, with nurturing. So when I say welcome to North Node in Cancer, I'm saying welcome home. This one's dear to me because I have North Node in Cancer. So a lot of what I'm going to talk about is going to come from personal experience. I've lived it, I know how it feels like, I know how you guys feel. So before we dive into the specifics of Cancer North Node, let's give you a general idea about Capricorn South Node. Capricorn South Nodes, you guys are my workaholics. We know how to work hard. We're not afraid of hard work. We're not afraid of obstacles. And the more difficult, the better. The tougher, the better. The more steep the ladder that we have to climb, the better. Because Capricorn gives himself life. Capricorn gives himself worth through hard work. Through hard work, achievement, diplomas, recognition, people looking up to us, applause. We want to be, we don't mind working hard, and we want to be acknowledged for that. We want people to look up to us and say, oh my God, you, the true goat, because the symbol of the Capricorn is that mountain goat, right? So a true goat, the greatest one of all, greatest of all time. That's what Capricorn wants in their heart. They want, in their mind, they want that recognition, and they don't mind putting in the hard work. They don't mind putting in the hours. They don't mind sacrificing everything around them for achievement, for that gratification that comes from achievement. So my workaholics, people who are not afraid of responsibility, people who are not afraid to step into any situations, no matter how crazy, no matter how volatile, to come in and say, I got this, guys. Capricorn is the father of the zodiac. Cancer is the mother of the zodiac. They're both nurturing, but they do it in different ways. Capricorn, being the father of the zodiac, is tough. He's strict. He does not like a lot of emotion. He sees emotions as weakness. Capricorn South Nodes hate to display weakness, because weakness means that I'm not strong. That means that I will not climb to the mountain. That means somebody else will be better than me. We're competitive like Aries South Nodes, but we do it in a sense of achievement, like we have to achieve. Without it, we're nothing. We don't know who we are unless we're working hard, unless we're producing, and everybody gets to see it, and everybody gets to look at us and say, wow, you're amazing. We want that. But the pitfall with this is that in this lifetime, because Capricorn is in the South Node, we overdid that. We overworked ourselves. We overworked ourselves to death. We ignored everything that had to do with our own comfort. We ignored everything that had to do with our own families, our emotions, our hearts. We probably don't even know what it feels like to feel, because we suppressed our hearts and our feelings so much, because feelings meant weakness. If I'm weak, I will be defeated. If I'm weak, my enemy. And with Capricorn South Nodes, we are competitive, and we kind of see everybody as, if it's not me, then he's gonna be. If you're not first, you're last. Kind of like Aries South Node. So for us, showing emotions meant weakness. It means somebody can take advantage of us, and we do not like that. So I guarantee you, Capricorn South Nodes, very disconnected from feelings. Uncomfortable with feelings, uncomfortable with emotions, uncomfortable with crying. I guarantee you, if you freaking cry, you're doing it somewhere hidden where nobody can see you. Even women, guys, even women. I was very uncomfortable with crying, very. I did not want anybody to see me as weak. I had to prove to everybody, including myself, that I was tough, that nothing can get me, that I can do this, that nobody can do it better than me. That's another pitfall for Capricorn. We are so used to taking charge. We're so used to doing everything on our own and being completely independent from others that we don't trust others to get things done. We think that we're the smartest, we think we're the best, we're the most efficient, we are the best. And so we can look down upon others and say, well, you're never gonna be good enough. Your work is never gonna be good enough to my standards. Capricorn South Nodes, huge standards, huge. And just as we are critical of others, and saying, not good enough, this is not good enough, you can do better, 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 better. We do that to ourselves. So that critic that's on the outside is also on the inside, doing the same thing, driving us and saying, you can do better, you can do better. Stop your crying, wipe your tears, very masculine. Get out there and do it, because if you don't do it, nobody's gonna do it. So Yeah. So now with North Node in Cancer, you are here to get off that mountain. You're here to get off the corporate ladder. You're here to get off that desire for achievement, for desire to recognition. You're here to put on your pajamas, literally and figuratively, and freaking nurture. And first, you're gonna have to nurture yourself. You're gonna have to get in touch with your emotions. You're gonna be brought to your knees with feelings, and it's going to be very uncomfortable for you. You're not going to know what to do. You may be at a funeral and you're not going to know what to feel. Somebody's cat just died and you'll be like, well, fuck, I don't feel anything. Almost like no empathy. But it's not because you guys don't have it. It's just that it's been buried deep inside of you so much through so many lifetimes. You forgot that connection to your heart that you literally can't feel emotions. And some people may say, gosh, you're so cold. You're so cold. You have no heart. People told me that before. And you don't understand. You're like, well, but it's true. Like literally, you're so disconnected from that part of you that in this lifetime, you will be forced to connect to that. You will not find pleasure in career advancement. You will not find pleasure in busy work. You will not find pleasure. You may think, but the more you do it, the more you work hard, the more you climb the ladder, the more you ignore your own comfort, your own emotions, the unhappy you're gonna be, to the point where you might freaking collapse. You might get sick, you might get fired, only to freaking stop you in your tracks and force you to spend time by yourself, to forget about achievement, to forget about all of that, spend time alone, get to know your emotions, get to know, watch movies, get to know that emotional part of you, bring it out. And you're gonna have a lot of crying, guys. I'm telling you, a lot of crying where you're gonna have to accept that, gosh, I'm strong, but I don't need to be so strong. I don't need to carry the world on my shoulders. Somebody else can do it. I can just relax. I can just make some soup and just sit here and watch This Is Us, and cry my heart out. That's good for you. Even though your mind may say this is stupid, it's a waste of time, we have so much work to do. It's the best thing for you. It's just to sit there underneath your blankets with a good movie, emotional movie, something that's gonna pull on those strings and freaking make you cry. And the more you cry, the better. So as you learn to nurture yourself, after that, you'll be able to nurture others. You'll still be tough because when you bring in that Capricorn South Node toughness, it's not going anywhere. But now you're going to do it with a motherly approach, with a nurturing approach. You're not going to be that strict father figure that says, no, this is not good enough. You're going to be nurturing. You're going to be strong. You're going to be a huge rock for whoever needs you because you have the strength and then you'll have the empathy and the feeling part. It's a beautiful combination. All right, so now we're going to dive into each house specifically to give you an idea what you're working with, okay? All right. North Node in Cancer, second house. So let's go to the opposite side. South Node in Capricorn in the 8th. All right, we're coming through the 8th house. You guys know 8th house is turmoil, drama, pain, fears, taboo, uncomfortable. So if you have Capricorn in the South Node in the 8th, you guys had lifetimes where you've been through a lot of crisis. And you've been through a lot of loss. You've been through a lot of situations where you had to take charge, where you had to be the authority, where you had to, I don't want to say be the savior of people, but let's say there was a lot of trauma, drama, loss, instability. So with Capricorn in the 8th, you're very strong at, once again, anytime you have South Node in the 8th, I would say nothing scares you. And if you have Capricorn in the 8th, then nothing scares you because you've had lifetimes where you had to be the only person in the room that kept their head cool, kept everything cool, and was like, all right, maybe some war themes, maybe something where there was a lot of loss, a lot of death. And with Capricorn there, you were tough. You were tough. And you were, you did not lose yourself in anything. You always kept your cool. That's the good thing about you, is that in situations of crisis, you're very good at keeping your cool. You're very good at separating yourself from the craziness and saying, okay. But because you toughened up so much, you lost the connection again, because 8th house is the house of, other people, other people's emotions, other people's resources, other people's trauma and stuff. So you hardened up to where you probably didn't feel You know, 8th house, the house of feeling. I mean, you feel deep in 8th house. And with Capricorn there, you get basically disconnected completely from other people's stuff, like to the point where it made you numb, where it made you, nothing could shake you, nothing could unnerve you. Let's say sex, Capricorn in the 8th, sex, you did not have that emotional connection, because in the 8th house you're merging with your partner. With Capricorn in the 8th, you probably had sex, but it was completely like robotic. It was completely just I take and that's it. You know, very cold attitudes, very harsh attitudes toward that. Not a lot of sharing. Somebody who did not really go deep. Somebody who just kind of okay, this would be another, okay, I'm sorry guys. This could be another case. Either you were very much involved with other people's trauma and problems and you're always carrying them on your shoulders. And even now you're used to just, you know, situations where it's always on you. Let's say there's some family shit and it's like, all right, well, let's get Bobby to figure it out because Bobby's good at that. And you're always carrying everybody on your shoulders. You know, the more chaotic the situation, the more you're like, okay, I have to step in. So you're tired of that. Like, you're really tired of that because you want, you know, you've been through so much trauma and you're so tired of like taking care of others. Another situation could be that you were confronted with situations that had to deal with trauma and all of that and depth and called for understanding of one another, called for vulnerability, but you didn't. You shut down. You run away from it. Something like that could also be because Capricorn is not comfortable with feeling. Capricorn shuts down when it comes to feeling because he sees it as weakness. So that could be another scenario. Let's say there was a lot of, like I said, death situations, war situations, and you just, in order to save yourself and maybe your group, you had to shut down the emotional response and just kind of really be like a machine. You know, Capricorn can be a machine, can be that workaholic that just shuts down the emotions, shuts down the heart, and just goes with what needs to be done here. What else in the 8th house? Somebody who was authority. You know, Capricorn is always going to deal with authority. Capricorn is always going to deal with somebody who took charge and who probably dominated others, because Capricorn, once again, very high standards of perfection, very high standards of performance. And so maybe you were like that with others. Maybe you were there to like I said, you didn't really go deep with them to see why they're crying, to see why they're hurting, and you're kind of like, okay, just get over it and stuff. So you shut down that part of you that shares, that part of you that connects. You shut it down sexually. Maybe you just had sex for the sake of sex, with no feelings, nothing. Maybe we can say prostitute. We can say somebody who completely shuts down and makes it all about just the actual deed, and then we're done. You know, sex is cold. Maybe you have trouble with intimacy. Maybe you have trouble with connecting with your partner, and your partner may say, I can never get right through to you. You know, you're so cold. Like, even when we're making love, you don't let me in. You don't let people in. You do not let people in. Or maybe with South Node in the 8th in Capricorn, you did let people in and maybe you got burned. Maybe it was very painful. So once again, you shut it down. You shut down your emotional responses to others. Where it was called for intimacy, you shut it down and you said, no, this is too much for me. If I go deep here, I will lose myself. And for Capricorn always likes stability. Capricorn loves stability, and so maybe being somebody who was an authority on, you know, other people's money, and somebody who was maybe used people for money, because Capricorn, when you shut down your feelings, everything comes from the mind. Everything comes from, okay, what needs to be done. And so you kind of start looking at people as numbers. You start looking at people as bodies. You start looking at people as things, kind of like Taurus in the 8th. Somebody who just looks at people as a means to an end. Capricorn does that. Capricorn, and his desire to achieve, to go high, to climb, they use people. They climb over people to get what they want. You know, they're good at that. They're good at shutting down their empathy and end justifies the means, something like that. So Capricorn is cold, guys. They're cold. They're cold, but it's not their fault. You know, that's what they're used to. That's all they know. They think if they let go and feel that they're going to be trampled. And it's what you come here with, you know, and it's not your fault, guys, you know. And if somebody tells you, oh my God, you're so cold, well, fuck it. Yeah, I am. Because you don't know what I've been through. So just because I'm not here crying in front of you doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. It's just that I don't know how to feel. I don't know literally how to feel because I shut that part of me down. So now with North Node in Cancer in the second, you're to once again relax. Once again, let go of the idea of crisis. Let go of the idea of carrying everything on your shoulders. You know, Capricorn is always thinking that without me, the whole world is going to collapse. Well, it won't, because somebody else is going to step in. Somebody else maybe has the opposite nodes where they need to learn how to come in and take charge. You need to relax. You need to, in the second house, you need to be, you know, it's your job. I mean, it's your job. It's your money. It's your values. You know, you're here to listen to yourself. Listen to your heart. Let your heart dictate what you like, what you don't like. Let your heart, you know, see the beauty in things, the value in things, but the emotional value, you know, the beauty of somebody expressing their feelings, you know, not looking at it as weakness, but saying, wow, you know, and you will love that. Like, you will see people and, you know, expressing themselves and being genuine, and you will be like, gosh, I wish I could do that. And you will do that, because the more you get in your own comfort zone, you know, because in the second, it's your self-worth, it's your values, it's the money you earn on your own. So you need to, you know, find your worth not based on how you are in crisis, not based on how strong you are, not based on what a wall you are and how tough you are and how you never shed a tear because it's weakness. You really are here to be weak. You're here to taste what it feels like to be weak. You're here to be vulnerable with another. You're here to, you know, Cancer in the second, you know, you can cook. You're probably an amazing cook. Cancer planets, when you have Cancer planets, you have these gifts of nurturing. So how does Cancer nurture? Through food. It's a big one. So you probably could, you know, you're here to relax, you know, in your approach to life, in your approach to money, in your approach to, you're here to let go of control, because Capricorn is controlling, very controlling. You're here to let go of control. You're here to just say, let me just ease up. You're here to laugh. Cancer, once again, I said it's very funny. Cancer has a great sense of humor. That's another way how we nurture people. Cancer is, you know, you're great cooks. Like I said, maybe you can make some money through that. Some kind of, what else nurture? Maybe you can, what else? Cook, humor. Just the more you nurture yourself, the more you nurture like your values and just what you think is not what's important, but what feels good to you. You really got to get in touch with what feels good and comfortable to you. If something is not comfortable for you, if something requires hard work and all of that, you got to get away from that, because you'll keep repeating your cycle. You'll never find happiness in your hard work. You will find happiness in slowing down, in literally spending the day being lazy, you know. Second house is the house of self-gratification. You know, just being lazy, just not doing anything. It's going to be very uncomfortable for you, but you got to go there. And as you do that, you will find a part in you that is playful and not so serious. And not everything is about life and death. And not everything has to be, you know, managed and studied and taking charge, you know, accomplished. No, you can just literally watch a good movie and you know, make a pie or something, and just chill, relax, nurture yourself. You have to nurture yourself, guys. And once you start nurturing yourself, you will know how to nurture others, and that's what you'll do. So I don't know if I gave you guys enough, but you have the idea. You know, you have to get away from strictness. You have to get away from stubbornness. You have to get away from hard work. I mean, truly, with Cancer North Node, you have permission to be lazy. And I know you feel like, oh, there's no freaking way. How am I gonna earn my money? What, you know, who's gonna pay for everything? Don't worry about it. The more you relax, the more you get in your comfort and find out what's cozy for you, then you'll get ideas on how to make money through that. And it's not gonna be hard work, because hard work is gonna burn you out. Cancer North Node, no hard work, because you've done that and you're tired. Like truly, you're tired. More than anything, you want to just stay home with a cup of coffee or tea and just sit there and just have a good cry. Crying is good. Cancer North Node, please do not be ashamed of crying. You'll heal yourself a lot faster if you let your emotions flow. So show your emotions. North Node in the second. Show your emotions. Show them, value them. Don't think they're weakness. They're not. They're actually your strength. Okay? All right. That's it.